I had showed y'all hey, how y'all doing? I showed y'all my lime tree. I be so excited. I ain't never really had no fruit tree, and these trees is baby trees. So I just be like, ooh, the baby tree, the cutie pie baby fruits. Let me stop. Okay, so my lime tree produce fruit. And so I had a talk with my fruit trees. I'm like, look, y'all, we is here together. Y'all is some fruit trees, and I need some fruits. We all supposed to be working together to get the glory from God. We all have to do our part out here. I need me some fruits in this process. I was like, don't be the fig tree that is withered now. Don't nobody want to be the fig tree that is withered out here, y'all. So I'm finna read this, the fig tree that withered. Okay, I'm in Mark verse 11. Mark 11 and 12. It say, now, the next day, when they had come out from Bethany, he was hungry. And seeing afar a fig tree having leaves, he sent to see if perhaps he would find something on it. When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not in season for figs. In response, Jesus said to it, let no one eat fruit from you ever again. And his disciples heard it. So now I'm finna jump and skip to verse 20. Now, in the morning, as they passed by, they saw the tree dried up from the roots. And Peter remembering said to him, Rabbi, look, the fig tree which you cursed has withered away. So Jesus answered and said to them, have faith in God, for surely I say to you, whoever says to this mountain, be removed and be cast into the sea, and does not doubt in his heart, but believes that those things he says will be done, he will have whatever he says. This is coming from Jesus. Jesus said, if you got faith, you can have whatever you say. Of course, it got to be in alignment with God. But if what you talk about in alignment with God, then he's saying you can have whatever you say. Basically, he giving you that authority. He like, do whatever out here, really. And say, therefore, I say to you, whatever things you ask when you pray, believe that you will receive them and you will have them. So, I had a talk with my trees. Through the authority of Christ, give me the fruits. Y'all here to serve a purpose. Don't be the withered fig tree out here. Don't be that. I'm telling y'all that too. Y'all don't be the withered fig tree out here now. So, basically, Jesus is telling his disciples and showing them through the authority they can have whatever they want. Like, he giving you everything. Like, Jesus did not hold back with this authority that he gave us. We walk around, we scared. We spooky scared to use the full authority that God gave us. I'm not spooky scared to use no authority God gave me. I feel like if God gave it to me, why would God give me something and he don't want me to use it? And so if I'm mimicking Jesus, and I look and see what he did out here, I'm be doing the same thing. If you don't give me no tree, you will be cursed. If you don't give me no fruit, you will be accursed. Don't let me walk up on you when I'm hungry out here. I'll use my full authority just like Jesus did in this process. I don't see what the problem is. I'm walking in the full authority of Jesus Christ. He gave us all this authority. Authority for everything. Every element of the earth. He gave us authority over everything, including the storms. And so even when you look and they on the ship, on the boat, and it's turbulence on the storm, and he come and he speak to the storm, and the whole storm calm down. And his disciple was scared because they weren't familiar with this type of authority at this type of level. But God, Jesus has given all this authority to the people that have received him. You got authority out here. Walk in your authority. What is you scared of? You is in the image of your Father out here. When people see you, they supposed to see Christ out here. So they should see the manifestations of Christ too in this process. what is going on out here. So me, y'all do y'all, and I'm going to do me out here. Because one thing God told me is, I bring dead things to life. So guess what? If the Creator himself said he instilled something in me where I bring dead things to life, what you think I'm finna be doing out here? I'm having fun with my authority in Christ. Like, I'm having fun with all the authority God gave me. If I could go to sleep and God wanted to show me something, I'm be like, for real, God? That what finna go on? What you think I'm finna be doing out here? If God give me a sneak peek, I'm taking full advantage. Full advantage of everything out here. Because this is what God wants his children to do out here. Like, this warms God's heart out here. I'm trying to walk my full authority in this process. So when Jesus, he walked upon this tree, it didn't have no fruit when he walked upon it. But if you look, it said it was out of season. So when you look at this fig tree, it says, seeing from afar a fig tree having leaves, he went to see if it perhaps would find something on it, if he would find something on it. When he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not in season for figs. So Jesus, he just walking, and while he walking, he see this tree. He knows it's a fruit tree, but he walking with the mindset of something being on this tree for him, because in this process he's tired and he's hungry, so he's trying to get something to eat. And so when he walked up on this fig tree, this tree wasn't even in season to produce no fruit. It was not in season. And so he said, in this process, let no one eat fruit from you ever again. And his disciples heard it. And so that caused the fig tree to wither from the roots. He cursed the tree from the roots because it did not have fruit. But the thing about it is, it was not in season to even have fruit. So symbolically, and the metaphor of all this is, don't let Jesus walk up on you and you ain't got no fruit out here. You is not going to have no excuse. This fig tree, it wasn't never even in season to produce fruit. So you would think that, okay, this excuse me, but when Jesus walk up on you, whether it's in season or not, you better have some fruit. You better get him something to work with out here. You better not be just out here, just green leaves, no fruit. You ain't got no fruits. Spiritually, physically, metaphorically. You better get some fruits out here. And when Jesus walk up on you, you better have something to offer him in this process. Do not be out here just thinking that you supposed to wait in season for you to move and do what you do out here. It's going to be out of season. When Jesus walked up on this tree, it was out of season. It wasn't even season for it to even have no fruit. But guess what? You think Jesus was worried about it being a season for fruit or not? He hungry, you better have some fruit, period. So in this process of life that we going through, you better be trying to get some fruit and have some fruit ready when Jesus come. You better be ready when Jesus come in this process. So don't be the withered fig tree out here. That's what I'm telling you. Don't nobody want to be the withered fig tree. Even my fruit trees who I was talking to don't even want to be a withered fig tree out here. Nobody wants to be in the position of a withered fig tree. Have some fruit when Jesus come. And you do not know his coming. You do not know when he's going to come. When he came to this tree right here, he was out of season. The tree wasn't expect, like, if you look at the tree as being alive, it looking like it think it got more time because it's not even season for fruit. But guess what? It did not have no time because Jesus was right there and he needed fruit right then. And this tree had no fruit. So if we symbolize the tree out here, make sure you got some fruit on your tree out here. Don't be no burr tree out here now, y'all. Get you some fruit out here. Get Jesus something he can work with in this process. Do not be the withered fig tree when Jesus walk up on you. Do not be accursed in this process. Don't nobody want to be the withered fig tree. I'm going to tell you that right now. So, yeah. So that's what I'm getting out of this, Bailey. Don't let Jesus walk up on you and you ain't got no fruits in this process. Be ready at all times. You do not know the time of the hour. So be ready at all times. Even if you out of season, you better be in season. Even if you out of season, you better find a way to get in season in this process. Be ready at all times in this process. Have fruit available at all times in this process, because you do not know the time of or the hour that Jesus is gonna come, and he wants some fruits from you. Do not come empty-handed in this process. You do not want to be with the fig tree that's cursed in this process. You get it? Okay. I'm finna read another part of this. I'm back on Matthew now, and it's talking about the tribulation. So it talks about the tribulation, then it talks about the coming of the Son of Man, and then it goes into the parable of the fig tree. I'm trying to see, can I read all of this or what? I start on the coming of the Son of Man, since that's what I'm talking about, Jesus and him walking up on you, because it's probably gonna be out of season when he comes. He's probably gonna come out of season. Why would Jesus pop up in season when he could pop up out of season? I'm asking y'all, like, why? Like, yeah, everybody expecting Jesus to come in season. Jesus gonna pop up out of season when don't nobody expect him to even be coming, and you better have some fruit when he pull up on you. That's all I gotta say in this process. So right now I'm reading the coming of the Son of Man. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 29. And it says, immediately after the tribulation. So it's talking about the great tribulation. So it's saying after the great tribulation. So it's saying immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened. The moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven, and then all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming on the cloud of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they will gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. And then it goes into the parable of the fig tree. Now, learn this parable from the fig tree. When its branches have already become tender and puts forth its leaves, you know summer is near. So you also, when you see all these things, know that it is near, at the doors. Assuredly I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away till all these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my word will by no means pass away. So right here, it says, but no one knows the day or the hour. But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so also will the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away. So also will the coming of the Son of Man be. Then 2 men will be in the field, one will be taken and the other left. 2 women will be grinding at the mill, one will be taken and the other will be left. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. But know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. Therefore, you also be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. So, I just told you this. I told you Jesus coming out of season. It's not going to be in season. Okay, y'all. Yo, my first mind just like, why would it be in season when he going to pop up out of season? Like, why? So when I read that and I read about the fig tree that withered, do not be the fig tree that withered out here. Get yourself together, prepare yourself together, get your fruit, do whatever you need to do, align yourself with whatever is going on, so when Jesus come up on you, You are, I guess when you got fruit, it represents mature. This maturity type thing. Make sure you got some growth. Make sure you got some fruits when he pull up on you in this process. Nobody knows when he's coming. Damn, it's a mosquito. See, the enemy busy. I don't want to be ate up out here. So in this process, y'all, I'm finna make this fast. So in this process of life, you need to be ready for Jesus coming in this process. You need to be trying to get ready. You need to be ready at all times. Basically, when I read about the withered fig tree and the tree being cursed, it's like you got two warnings. One is, do not let Jesus walk up on you and you ain't got no fruits. Do not let him walk up on you when you ain't got nothing. Like you ain't got nothing to offer. Like nothing at all. Like what you been doing. And you saying that it's out of season. It's not going to be an excuse when you're dealing with Jesus, because Jesus cursed the fig tree even though it was out of season. So that's not going to be an excuse in this process. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make sure you got some fruits. Hey, by any means necessary. The worst thing you could do is have Jesus walk up on you and you ain't got no fruits when he come and walk up on you in this process. The worst thing you could do is be empty-handed when Jesus pop up on the scene. That's the worst position to even be in this process. So I laugh when I say, don't nobody want to be the withered fig tree. Even the trees out here don't want to be a withered fig tree out here. They don't even want to do that. Don't nobody want this position. So you shouldn't even want this position either in this process. So he also said, you speak to the mountain, it will move if you got the faith. So God said, you got faith, you can do whatever. Y'all see it, don't it? So in this process, God said, whatever you want, if it's aligned with God, if you are in alignment with God, you pretty much can have whatever you ask for in this process. If you in alignment with God and your desires is his desires and y'all are one, you barely can ask for anything and you will get it. Like, barely, this is what he's saying in his word. Like, people can say what they want to say. They could try to say, well, no, Jesus didn't really mean move the mountain, even though he telling you can move the mountain. Jesus telling you can do this. Jesus didn't tell you to go to God and tell God, okay, God, I need you to move this mountain. Jesus gave you the authority. Jesus wants you to use your authority. Jesus don't want you to go to God for the authority he gave you. He wants you to talk directly to whatever is going on in your life. Whatever mountain is in your life, you got the authority. He don't want you to go to God and be like, oh, God, please open this door. God wants you to use your authority and speak to whatever is in your way to move and get out your way out here. Like, God wants you to use your authority. That's why he gave it to you. God didn't give you the authority out here for you to have to go back to him to ask him to use his authority that you already got within you. Okay, in this process, for example, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, where we go, there we're going to go with it. Okay, in this process, for example, just say your kids. Let's go back to the kids, because we are his kids. So the analogy of his kids is, just say, okay, you give your kids the authority. Your kids, they being responsible. So in this process of your kid being responsible, you give your kids the authority to, let's see what it is. I use something simple. Well, God, what kind of authority can I give my kids in this process? That can align with what I'm trying to say out here. Where can we go with this, God? Let me see an example. Okay, let's say you give your kids the authority to cook. So they been good. You done taught them how to use the stove. And so now you tell them, okay, you got the authority to cook you something to eat if you want to eat. Okay, that's where we're going to go with this. Okay, so just say your kids, they get hungry. And you gave them the authority to use the stove to cook. But them, they still like have this, they're still uncomfortable about using the stove, using the Even though you gave them the authority to say, okay, you can use the stove to cook, they still feel the need to come to you to ask you to cook for them in this process. So you telling them, okay, y'all got the authority. You hungry, you just go fix you something to eat. You good, you got clear. If you hungry, you can go in the refrigerator, whatever you want to eat, you can eat. But in this process, they don't understand the full authority that was given to them when you told them they can go get whatever they want to eat. So in this process, instead of them just going getting something to eat when they hungry, they still come to you and say, well, mama, can you come in the kitchen with me and can you give me some grapes? I'm hungry. Mama, can you come in the kitchen with me? I want to make some noodles. Can you come and cook the noodles for me? But in this process, they have full authority to make noodles and they got the authority to eat grapes. They don't have to ask your permission to do this. You have given them the authority to do this. They don't have to ask you for grapes for them to receive the grapes. They don't have to say, mama, can I get a grape? Can you even get the grapes for me, mom? When you gave them authority to go in the refrigerator whenever they hungry to get something to eat. Do you get it? They do not why would you have the authority to go in the refrigerator to get something to eat and then you come to me and then ask me to actually get it out for you to eat? Like, why you not using your authority out here? I gave you your authority so you can use your authority to do what you want to do out here. Don't run to me. I didn't give you the authority to do everything you need to do for you to run to me, for me to still do everything for you in this process. That's how God feels. That's how he feels in this process. He gave you the authority. He wants you to use your authority. He wants you to be the one to do this. You speak to this. You have the authority to do that. Like he gave it to you and Jesus, he died. He already fought Satan. He said he's not going to fight Satan again. He already won the battle. So he like, this something he's not going to even do time to in this process. The battle has already been won. Jesus already went through everything. He's not finna go through it again. So he released to you. So he wants you to use your authority out here. Like he died, and when he died, a lot came with it, including the authority that we lost when Satan put us in a fallen state. So if you're walking with Christ and you are reborn through Christ, then you're not under the law of the land no more. You're not under that. You're not under the law of the land in this process. You're walking under a whole nother jurisdiction in this process. Do you understand? I can't get into too much detail. I'll do it later. So, basically, the second part of that fig tree is, God gave you authority. Use it. It's simple. God gave you authority. God didn't give you authority for you to pray for him to do all this, remove all this, when you got the authority to speak to the mountain and it's supposed to move through your faith. God gave you the authority to do all of this. You just got to have the faith to do it, though. So if you got the faith, you in alignment with God, pretty much he going to give you everything you want. It's nothing for God to give you everything you want if you in alignment with him and you got the faith to back up whatever it is you talking about out here. Now, if it's something and maybe, you haven't reached a maturity level to receive whatever it is, or if you asking for something and it's going to put you in harm's way, like it may cost you your life to receive this, God is not going to give you nothing that's going to jeopardize your safety in this process. So if you asking for God to give you, just say a Lamborghini, and he know that somebody might target you and it might be death attached to that, he's not gonna bless you with that type of vehicle in this process. But that's not always the case. So when he look at the case and he look and he like, this is good, then you got your Lamborghini and you got whatever else he want to give you in this process. If God say no, it ain't because he just want to tell you no. It's bigger than you if he told you no. Maybe you ain't that mature. Maybe you haven't reached the maturity for him to give you what you asking for in this process. It could be a lot of different types of reasons, but he's not just going to tell you no, just tell you no. Like, he's going to have a reason why the answer is no in this process. And also in this process, God don't just do nothing just to do nothing. Everything serves a purpose. God is not going to just create something and it don't serve a purpose. Everything God creates serves a purpose in this process. God not just gonna waste time and just say, okay, I just wanted to do this, so that's why I did it. Everything serves a purpose, so you got to know the mindset of God himself. So even when he designed and created each one of us, all of us serve a purpose in this process. So we all supposed to be producing fruits out here in this process. We all represent trees in this process. We all supposed to have some kind of fruit. So I'm going to end this, but in this process of me ending this, and I'm going to repost my other video about the withered fig tree, which tickled me, because I'm like, don't nobody want to be no withered fig tree out here. And my warning is, do not be the withered fig tree out here. But in this process, that mosquito just, mine. Did I get it? Did I get it? But in this process of the withered fig tree, y'all, in this process of the withered fig tree, you make sure you got some fruit when Jesus come up on you. You do have the authority through Christ. You know, people, they illegally tap into the spiritual realm and do all kind of stuff illegally, but you got to realize everything they do illegally, it's a legal way to do everything. Nothing is off limits with God. God got all power in this process. God got you authority in this process. Why would God have all power and not give it to you? And you his child in this process? Like, it don't make sense. Why would God not want you to walk in your full authority? Why would God give you authority if you can't walk in it? Like, why would God give you authority for you not to even use your authority out here? For you not to use your gifts? For you not to have no fruit? For you not to produce no fruits? Like, why would you be a fig tree with no fruit out here? That's a very dangerous position to be in. I'm going to tell you that right now. To be a tree with no fruit. Don't be no fig tree with no fruit and Jesus walk up on you out here. Get you some motion going in this process, y'all. Get you some motion going. Get you some fruits out here. Make sure you ready. Be like, yeah, Jesus, here go a fig tree. Offer a fig tree to Jesus. Here go a fig. Jesus, you hungry? Here you go. But don't be no fig tree. Don't be no tree out here with no fruits, no nothing. It's a very bad position to be in. I'm going to tell you this right now. And so also in this process of me reading, I read the end when Jesus coming and it speak on the fig tree, and it said you could look at the fig tree, you know when the fig tree is season, but then just the same, it's telling you even in that with Jesus coming that you do not know the time of the hour. Nobody knows the time of the hour. Only the Father knows the time of the hour. He the only one that know in this process. And so if he the only one, it's just like be ready at all times. You do not know when he come. Be ready at all times. When I go back to the Mark, when I first was reading about the fig tree and Jesus was hungry and the tree was out of season, it's saying the same message. Be ready at all times. You will not have no excuse. You will not have no excuse in this process. So your best option is do whatever you can to position yourself to be ready. Because it's no excuse. It will be no excuses. So your best option, instead of trying to find an excuse, is to try to figure out a way to have you some fruits ready when Jesus comes. Because you do not want Jesus cursing you for no fruit in this process. So y'all, I'm finna let y'all go. Because these mosquitoes. I'm finna let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. Be safe. Y'all, I see we got a lime. We got two of them actually. Finally got a lime on that lime tree. I know, right? I'm so excited.